Hey guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to be talking about my experience with laser hair removal. This is something that I had been thinking about for years before I finally decided to go ahead and do it. And before that first appointment, I was super nervous. I looked up a lot of reviews, or I tried to look up a lot of reviews and videos online, but I found there wasn't really a lot of content that sort of gave me an idea of what the procedure was like, what to expect when I went in for the appointment. There were quite a few things about results, but nothing about what to actually expect. And I'm the kind of person, I want to know exactly what's going to happen when I go in for an appointment like this. I'm quite risk adverse. Like it makes me nervous to do things that are permanent and semi-permanent to my body. Like tattoos are something I'm not comfortable doing. I'm terrified to do that kind of thing. Any of those kind of cosmetic procedures is not something that I would generally consider doing at this point in my life. And this, although it is, a semi-permanent procedure or treatment, it still made me nervous. So just to give you an idea of sort of my character and my attitude, this wasn't something I was super excited or comfortable to do, but it was something that I wanted done. So my treatments were done by Silk Laser Clinics. I'm in Australia, I'm in Perth. So my experience really is specifically for Silk, but I'm assuming it's going to be reasonably similar, whatever clinic you choose to go to. This isn't sponsored. I paid for the treatment with my own money. They don't know who I am or that I'm reviewing or anything, just to put that out there, just in case you were interested in that. I started my treatment it would have been February 2019. I did 10 sessions throughout the year, and then generally you do 10 sessions and then you move into a sort of a maintenance phase. And that maintenance phase kicked off right when COVID started. So I haven't been back for any maintenance yet. And my last treatment it would have been February this year. So I haven't been for a good 6 months. I did film a little clip, I think, of the day that I went and got my first treatment done, so I will insert that here. I've just gotten to the clinic. I'm feeling a little bit nervous, to be honest, but more so because I don't really know what to expect, obviously, because I've never done this before. I don't think it's going to hurt necessarily. It's probably more to do with the fact that I'm going to be exposing myself a little bit more than I'm used to. My appointment's not for about another hour, so I'm going to do some quick shopping before I go in. But then, yeah, we'll get it done and see what happens. So I'm all done. It was fine. I'm not feeling any discomfort at the moment. So it was done I finished 10 minutes ago. I wouldn't say it hurt, but there were a couple of times where I've definitely flinched and tensed up. So I suppose, yeah, there was a little bit of pain, but not an excessive amount where you had to grit your teeth or anything. Can't remember what I said in that video, but I was super nervous. So I went to the store to book the appointment. They didn't give me a whole lot of information about how to prepare or what to expect when I got there. I kind of asked, but I didn't get a lot of response back. So that's where I want to step in and let you know what happened. I went straight in for the consult and the treatment. So during that appointment, it was a questionnaire that I had to fill out, and it's quite in depth, my history, how my, medications that I was on, my skin type, my hair type. And to give you a bit of information about that, I have not got a lot of hair on my body. Like I am, my arms, my legs, I'm virtually hairless. Like I don't know. Yeah. My thighs certainly have no hair. The front of my legs do grow. I do grow a little bit of hair. So I wanted treatment for my underarm hair and my bikini area. My hair is fairly fine, my underarm area. And it is dark, but it's not super dark or coarse. And then obviously my skin color, I'm sort of a fairer olive sort of color, and my whole body is kind of like, I don't tan or anything. I'm not super pale, but I'm not super dark either. So you've got to have a certain sort of skin tone to hair color ratio or contrast for the procedure to be successful. Like people with really dark skin, it's not usually as successful. And people with really fair skin and fair hair, again, the laser has trouble picking up the pigment in the hair, so it doesn't work as well. So I was told that my skin tone and hair type were in a sort of more of an ideal category. So that was really good. They were quite confident that I would be successful, but they offer no guarantee. So you really have to go through the treatment and see what happens at the end. You also can't be tanned or have a self-tan applied prior to the treatment. I don't self-tan very regularly at all. I maybe do it if I have an occasion coming up during the summer, but it's not something that's a regular thing for me. I just avoided doing that. I was recommending the treatment to my sister, and she was saying, oh, she can't because she tans every single week. So it's just something to keep in mind as well, depending on what you do in regards to tanning. It is quite expensive as well. So I went when there was a special on, and the Silk clinics do regularly run these specials where it's about half price. I can't remember exactly what I paid, but I feel like the underarms are only $9 per session, and the bikini was maybe around the $20 to $30 mark to have that done. And I purchased my sessions in bulk, so I paid for 5 sessions at a time, and you can use Afterpay, and there's a few other payment options that you can use, but I ended up just paying for 5 sessions at a time. And then when the first 5 sessions were coming up to expire, I waited for a sale, and then I purchased the next 5. So you can always wait for a sale. They come around really quite regularly. Like, there's no real reason to have to pay full price for that kind of, for at the Silk clinics anyway. So I went in, filled out my consult form, and then we got straight to it. The other thing they didn't really explain to me, and the only thing I knew, and the only reason I knew about it was because of these reviews and videos that I had watched, was the fact that you need to shave the area before you have the laser. Like, I didn't really know anything about laser hair removal before I went in there. So if that's not something that's been brought to your attention, or you're just researching to begin with, you have to shave the area that you want treated. So with my bikini in particular, when I booked an appointment, I said I wasn't sure. I said to her I wasn't sure what I guess shape or how much I wanted to remove and that kind of thing. I said that to the girl, and she said to me I didn't have to decide whilst I was booking in. We could just decide on the day. So what she really meant by that was I could shave what I wanted off, and that's what they would treat in the area. If you don't go in with the area shaved, they will do a dry shave on you, which I imagine would be quite irritating. And it does, I think they were charging you about $15 or something to do that. So you really do need to have the area shaved beforehand. And it needs to be quite fresh, obviously. Like, you can't shave 2 days before. Like, there needs to be really no growth, or it's not going to work. The laser will just target that hair that's already out of the skin and not go down into the root. So that was a big thing. So once the questionnaire was filled out, we went into the treatment room. You could wear like a singlet top, or you could get down to your bra for the underarm portion. The bottom portion, you have to remove everything, and they give you a little disposable G-string to wear as well. The disposable G-string covers absolutely nothing, and when they are doing the treatment, like with the laser, they move it completely to the side. So I'm not really sure why they even give you that, but they do. They do also offer you a towel, so while they're, treating the underarm, you wear a towel over your bottom section, so it does feel a little bit more comfortable, I guess. But it is a very and they're very professional, obviously, of course, but it is, you are exposing yourself to a person. So you need to be comfortable with that, or at least be able to suck it up and get through it. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes, maybe. I was in there for both areas. It is quick. The next thing I wanted to know was, is it painful? So in my experience, the underarms, I didn't find painful at all. It just kind of felt like no different to sort of plucking your eyebrows, and it was very quick. So the laser is sort of I guess around that sort of diameter, and it just goes boom, 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 boom. And that was basically it for one side of the underarm. The technicians I had were they just got straight to it, and they got it done really quite quickly. There was a warm sensation for both areas. The laser is a warm, it's hot, it's burning your hair. So it is warm, and they do put cooling gel onto the area straight away. So the underarms were fine. Like, I think most people would be able to handle that. I can't see anyone getting, sort of upset with the level, or I can't see anyone getting really uncomfortable with the level of pain or anything for that one. The bikini area was a little bit more painful. Like, it's still, for me, it was still tolerable for most, or the whole thing was tolerable, obviously, because I did it. But there were some areas that were far more sensitive than others, and it was very, I had to grit my teeth a couple of times. But again, it's a quick pain, and then it goes away. Afterwards, the pain, in terms of the recovery, I guess you'd say, the pain afterwards, I didn't find it painful for the couple of days after the treatment at all. I guess it was a little warm, I want to say, or even perhaps it was slightly itchy for the couple of hours after the treatment, but not painful, probably just more uncomfortable and mildly uncomfortable, not even, to the point you could easily distract yourself from it. It wasn't something that was like, oh my God, I'm in so much pain right now. You are also offered an aftercare pack, which included, I believe, a cleanser, an exfoliator, a cooling gel, a sunscreen. So I purchased the entire pack. I just figured, why not? do what they tell me. I only ever used the cleanser, the exfoliant, and the the cooling gel. And even then, I reckon after the first couple of treatments, I stopped probably using the cleanser as much. You probably just get away with any kind of antibacterial cleanser, but you can make your own decision on that, but in my experience, that's what worked. They ask you not to have any hot showers for the couple of days after the treatment, and they ask you not to do any physical activity that's going to make you sweat. You don't want to sweat because obviously sweat has bacteria in it, and they don't want that getting into the pores that you've essentially just burnt to a crisp. So you've also got to keep that in mind. No like spas or like immersion in hot water or anything like that. You just have to avoid that for a couple of days. The treatments are spaced 4 weeks apart in the beginning, and then as you go along, they gradually get further and further apart. So then they'll space them out to 5 weeks, 6 weeks, and so on. At the point that I got, so after my 10 sessions, I don't think my next appointment was due for another 8 weeks or something like that. So I haven't been back. I also didn't know what the treatment was like, how the hair would react. So I found that quite interesting, I guess. So after each treatment, after a couple of days, the hair, you'd obviously shaved, the hair would start to grow back as stubble, and then it would just fall out. So if you like brushed against it, or I remember at one point I got out of the shower and I was drying myself with a towel, all this hair just fell out like onto the towel. So, and it not in a painful way or anything, it just literally fell out from the root. I wasn't expecting that. I don't know. I think I was just expecting it to not grow. Do you know what I mean? Like I thought it just wouldn't grow back quickly, but it's still, those first few treatments in particular, it did grow back just as quickly as it usually would, but the hair would just fall out. So really found that quite interesting. And then as the treatments went on, the regrowth of the hair was a lot slower. So it would be a week before the hair started to come back again. I didn't notice that so much with my underarms, but certainly the bikini area, it did that. And that's where I want to get to my results. So my bikini, I would say, was far more successful than my underarms. And I think that is due to the fact that the hair down there was darker and slightly more coarse than the hair on my underarm. I did find though with the underarms, I am going to show you my underarms, not my bikini area, but with my underarm, the shadow, I don't know if everyone has the same thing, but I always had sort of, even if I just very freshly shaved my underarms, I would always sort of have a shadow under the skin that came through, which it didn't really bother me, but it was just something that I noticed. And I find now that the hair does grow back. Like my underarms are certainly not hairless at this point. The hair does come through reasonably regularly, but the shadow is a lot less, particularly when I first shave. So I last shaved my underarms probably a week or so. I probably should have written this down, but I think it was probably closer to 2 weeks ago. So quite a while. And if hang on, take off my cardigan. If I show you, so you can see there is a slight shadow there, but it's been, a long time. And you probably can't see, there's no hair growing at this point. So there's nothing to feel like it's, maybe a tiny little bit of stubble up here, but it's not anything you can see. So even though the hair's not entirely removed, it will grow back. Probably next week I might end up shaving. It will go back. It is a lot finer, a lot more sparse, however you want to say that. I never really know which way is the right way to say that. It's a lot less dense. And I didn't have a lot of hair there before, but I can definitely see there's been a difference, and I haven't had a treatment since February. My bikini area was a lot more dense, a lot more coarse, but now sort of the outside area the area of the hair has definitely shrunk. I haven't shaved there again for the same length of time as the underarms, and I don't need to shave there yet either. So great results there, and the hair that has grown back is a lot fairer, and it is a lot more fine and soft, so it's a lot more easier to manage. And it used to be a case of if we needed to go to the pool, I was like, I have to go in and shave. Whereas now, if we have to go to the pool, I don't have to worry about it at all. So really happy with those results, even though it was painful, and I did not enjoy having to expose myself to these girls every 4 or 5 weeks or however long it was. I didn't love that. I am definitely pleased with the results, and I would definitely recommend doing it, and I would definitely do it again if I needed to. My understanding is the maintenance needs to be done every sort of 6 months or so as a minimum, and I'm finding it's okay. So I don't know when I will go back to get any maintenance done, but as I need it, I will certainly do that. So there are probably things that I have missed in this review sort of explanation of how it all works. So if you do have any questions, please leave them down below and I will answer them unless they're inappropriate. I'm not going to answer anything that's inappropriate. But I do hope you found this video helpful. I hope you found it interesting and it's given you sort of an idea of what to expect if you are considering some laser treatment. I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.